Welcome back to our Kaiserpunk series in Europe. We've already made a lot of progress, so don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see from start to finish how we got there. This is episode 5 and I have big plans today. In the last episode, we started to play with military. We even started to expand our territories, right? We have now 3 regions over here and 2 battalions. We have 1 battalion with 8 militias and 1 battalion that has 1 militia and also our first field gun. So we're starting to get, a bit more advanced. Now, the problem is, I think most of the enemies are more advanced than us, so we're going to need to be careful here. That could be a dangerous junction. But the good thing is, indeed, we started. In between the end of the last episode and the start of this one, I have also reorganized slightly my population. It used to be a bit of a mess there. And I'm focusing on high, density housing, right? High rises, because as I showed you in the previous episode, this is more efficient in terms of space. It takes less space to have more people. And yeah, basically what I've done is I've put all of the services in the middle over here. I've also used, the improvement there. We're starting to improve them as much as possible to try, for them to have a long range. I mean, if you look at this guy here, it is sometimes a bit hard to see it, but you can see, yeah, the range goes all the way over here. So it is definitely taking all of these buildings, into that range. Where does it finish here? Finishes over here. So they're all in range, of all of these. And so with this, we have started basically to make them super happy. They have the basic needs, they have the luxury needs, and they have all of the public services. I mean, I know it says only 46 and 56. I think it's just because it's starting, so it's going to take a minute for it to get to 100. But, we have the clinics, the fire station, the elementary school, and even a new thing, which is the record label. So this is this one over here, there. I haven't started to upgrade it yet. Love the music, by the way, that's coming through. But yeah, we have this one over here that will start helping everybody. And then on the other side, right, they also get the clinic, the fire station, the police station, the elementary school, and they will want a high school and a radio station. We haven't built those ones yet, but they still get pretty much everything else. So that is the reorganization, right, of my population. We have now also unemployment. We have quite a lot of laborers and manufacturers that are unemployed. So that means we're ready for a new expansion, right? So always good to have this. We have also, I have also, sorry, upgraded my productions so that if you look over here, we're in the green everywhere. Everything is in the green. This wasn't really by building a lot of buildings. It was mostly by doing some of those improvements. You can see, for example, improving the production of the clothes here to make enough clothes. I did the same over here on the appliance for the gramophone. I think basically we were making 5 and we needed 6. Now I've upgraded it to 8, so we're good there. So again, I've made a couple of upgrades everywhere, but I haven't really started anything new. We do have one thing to do before we get started, which is over here. We can level up our town because we have reached 1,500 people. Actually, let's check exactly how many. 1,680 we have reached. So we're ready again for this upgrade to the next level. This will go over here. And last time we chose the nation state. Now we have the choice between reforms that will help with reducing the battalion supply, commerce that will reduce the fleet cooldown, and discipline that will reduce the battalion cooldown. So I'm thinking we go with reforms for 2 reasons. The first one is that this will put us back in the middle. So hopefully the people that are left, right, like the AIs that are more on the left or on the right, should be not too unhappy with us. And then the second reason, honestly, I think reducing the supply is more important than reducing the cooldown, because I can just wait more time for the cooldown versus the supply means more productions. So yeah, let's go with reforms, but don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you disagree. So it is. We're slowly but surely upgrading this one. And now we need to continue expanding our military. We have at the end of the last episode unlocked the shipyard and the naval base, so we can start making one of these. We will need a bit more plywood because I've just been using everything. But the good thing is we have pretty big production of plywood, which we should probably continue to expand, by the way. But anyway, where are we going to place this shipyard? Obviously it needs to have access to water. So, actually this is fine, you can see this is green. You could put it there, or you could definitely put it there, right? But I feel like this is not very realistic to put it inside one small canal like this. So let's just put it over here on the, entrance to the deep sea. So yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, put over here. We're gonna need, why is that not working? Oh yeah, it's green. So let's see, put one there. This is 100 of plywood, so that's a lot. Let's start with 2, and then let's put a naval base next to it over here. So this one, wait, how does it work, that one? I saw it was green for a second there. Oh, it needs to be fully in the water. Okay. So that one needs to be fully in the water. I guess we'll put it there. And I think we need a depot. So we're gonna put the depot over here. Don't we need electricity too? Probably. Let me see. Yes, we need electricity. First, we have a power station. Let's start putting the roads. But yeah, we have some resources, so let's get started building some of these. First, the electricity and the depot. Then we have enough for one of these. Okay. We're now negative of electricity, so let's put one windmill next door. And we're gonna need a bit more of wood to build it. But yeah, with this, we have access to the first shipyard. 100 manufacturers is gonna be a lot. We can of course reduce this in the future, but not yet. It requires a level way above what we have. And similar to the vehicles, you know, you can build a queue. So I think we're gonna go definitely and start making some corvettes. Let's go with 5 for now. And in the future, we can start making also destroyers, cruisers, and battleship. In terms of the resources, let me just build this one. So what resource do we need to make that happen? The corvette is only steel. We're making steel, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. I think, you know, as soon... Why is that not working? No, yeah, as soon as the steel arrives, it should get started. It's going to take, you know, quite a bit of steel, but we have a lot, and it's going to take, I'm sure, quite a bit of time. Look at this. It's slowly being built. But yeah, I think we can, with this, create a pretty big army pretty quickly. So hopefully that will help to defend, because again, I'm pretty worried. We have, you know, the Mali Empire just took over these two here, so they're very close to us now. Oh, this one has no defense. Oh, let's go. Let's attack this before they take it over. Because I'm pretty sure they destroyed the defenses, but then they didn't take over the region. So let me take it over myself. Here it is. We have taken it over. We are actually in positive, but that's thanks to the army, and the army may move somewhere else. So I'm going to put a propaganda bureau for now, get us to maximum of stability. Let's build some militias to defend. Okay. And in the future, maybe we'll also build some of those other defenses. I don't know if I want anti... I guess we're going to do something like the regions that are next to the sea, we will put anti-ships, which is this one, I think. And the one that are next to the... that are not next to the sea, we'll put anti-air. Yeah, it is. So this army... Actually... Oh, this is my new army. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was this army there, but no, this one is still on this side. We could attack there, but that would declare war, so we're definitely not going to do it. And I'm not sure I want to attack there either, because there is quite a lot of defense, and it's anti-militia, and of course I only have militia. So I don't think it's a good idea. I think we would be killed. The only problem is he's starting to expand also on that side, the Mali Empire. These guys here, they also have a lot of defense, so let's repatriate the troops, because I think we're going to try to take over here. And then these guys, actually, they have the field guns, so they may be stronger against these, but probably not enough, to be honest. So I think we're going to bring them back home also soon. Okay, so now that we have created a couple of corvettes, I think we already have 2, we can build the shipyard, naval base, sorry, where we're going to be able to start actually creating these, you know, corvette units, if you wish, right? It basically takes 300 recruits and 3 corvettes, and then we're going to have 1 unit of corvettes. When we can have, I remember, the maximum 8 of them. So we're going to definitely start one. I don't know if we have a lot of recruits. Yeah, we have a lot of recruits, all good there. Let's definitely, you know, make sure that it gets started. Shouldn't be a problem. And let's make sure that we boost our production by having over here a second shipyard, right? Making more corvettes. Because again, I mean, I won't actually we can already, you know, put a few others in the queue. Because yeah, we're gonna need one for sure. And then similarly over here, I have added another one of these vehicle factories so that we can start making tanks. It is missing a bit of electricity over here. So clearly we need another power distribution. Okay. That should work now. Yes, it is. Perfect. And we're missing also a bit of manufacturers. Okay, so we're going to need to expand that. And yeah, again, I'm saying because, you know, we want to expand our productions a bit more quicker to try to catch up to some of our enemies. And in particular, I think it would be good if we can get, you know, to the next level of militaries pretty soon. The green level. So what do I mean by this? You know, if you look over here, right now we can only do the basic gray level. I want to start doing the this level over here, which is the green level. It will require even more advanced weapons and things like this, but it will be good for us to do. Okay, so yeah, here it is. I've added a couple of houses, so we have now more. I wonder if I should actually maybe just still create, you know, some more. Let's go with 1 militia and 1 of these field guns. I think we hopefully have a bit of reserves. Yeah, we have 20, so that is good. I know that these troops are probably not that strong right now, but they can help. They can help, you know. For example, we can try to see here. Ooh, this is a lot of defense, and there is an army too. Yeah, we can try to do, you know, first attack. Worst case scenario, this just gives us a bit of experience. So let's see this battle. We have our troops here. You know, they're losing a lot of health, as you can see, because of these defenses. But hopefully now in the battle, we at least, yeah, we killed those militias, but we lost a lot of health, right? Because these garrisons are really strong. You need vehicles to attack this, but at least we've killed the troops. And now one thing we can do is still reinforce, you know, some of these. Maybe I won't reinforce all of them, because maybe we're going to want to replace these ones when they die with something else. But at least we have some. We have these guys there, you know, I think they're where they should be, to be honest. They're protecting a bit this place there. We did put propaganda bureau, so my stability is going up. That's great. On this one, stability is also slowly but surely going up. Love it. In the meantime, we still haven't started these artillery shell, right? So this is going to take 2 things, lead and chemicals. So we're not doing those 2, so we need to get started. So we can go over here and find these 2. Sometimes it's not the easiest to find exactly where they are. I would love a search bar, to be honest. Where is it? Am I blind? So this is brass, zinc, newspaper, paper, diesel. Chemical is here. And we can find the other one later. So chemical, it's easy-ish. We're going to make them in the refinery next to our crude oil. So that is over here. 1 more. Okay. Let's see what we should potentially be doing. I think reducing the workforce for sure for such a building. Maybe boosting the production too. But I see we have a problem now on electricity and on water. Oh no, this is the wrong one, sorry. So chemicals, yes. Still using crude oil, but it's a different ratio basically. And here we don't have a way to reduce the water. No, we don't. So I guess we're just gonna boost production. And that's pretty much it. For electricity, that's easy. We can either build another windmill or we can actually improve the windmill. I should actually improve most of them before doing anything else. But yeah, we're gonna need more water. So let me check my water productions. One thing I would love for the developers to implement is if I'm over here into the list, you know, of all my houses, factories, etc. If I click on one of these buildings, I want to go there on the map. I want to go see it where it is, right? Because now this would help me to really find them. Otherwise, I have to actually search, which is not easy, to be honest. I don't even remember where they are. No, there is 2 on this side somewhere. The other side of the bridge. So if we follow it, here it is, we found 1, and there's another one there. Both of them are empty, so they produce a lot less, which is something a bit strange, to be honest. But anyway, we can boost that production, so that's what's nice. And now in positive. How much is it? 800. I mean, I guess we don't really have a choice. The only other thing we can do is reduce its maintenance. So let's just do it. Okay. And if we need more in the future, we can always do the same with the other one. But yeah, with this, we're going to start making the chemicals over here. And then the other one was the lead. So where is the lead here? Iron, bricks, diesel, silver, lead. Here it is. So this is in the smelter using, okay. So we're gonna need to use, no, this is the wrong one. Here it is. So we're gonna need to use this resource here, the galena, and we're gonna put it into a smelter to make some lead or to make some silver, by the way. So let's find first that one, I guess. There is some just close by, it seems. No? Yes, just here. Okay. This is a bit far though from my city. Let's see if there's one a bit closer to the city, like over there, so we don't have to have a big road. It is. There's actually already a road. That's perfect. We need a small depot, and I guess we can make the production next to it so that it's easy also for the depot. It was a smelter, if I remember correctly. Where is my smelter? Yeah. Okay. So I need a bit more. Let's salvage more stuff. Get some of those resources, start cleaning the space. Okay, so how much do we need for a smelter? 50. Oh my word. Let's go. 40. And come on, you can do it. You can do it. 50. Done. Okay. So we don't want this, we want that one. You know, the galena that comes from here. Yes, it does require some electricity. That makes sense. Okay, let's put electricity next door. Okay, so we're gonna have electricity. We're actually a bit low on electricity. Let's just put one windmill here. Done. And yeah, that should get started. We can potentially improve it, but be careful because this one is limited reserve, right? So if we put the boost of production, we're just going to empty that reserve like quickly. So that's not very smart, to be honest, right? Instead, I think at the beginning you may want to reduce the people and then maybe the money or the electricity, and then it's only when it's empty, I think, that you start putting production boost. But yeah, this has started. This one we may want to put a production boost, to be honest, though, because this is fine. This is just using a finite resource to make more of it. So yeah, let's do that one for sure. Okay. So that will start giving us everything we need for munition shells. So let's start that one. We have enough people, and it's starting. So artillery shells, that's going to be important for sure. Let's try to boost that one in terms of the production again. So instead, we're still using 5 and 10, but now we're making 13 instead of, I think, 8. So that is great. That is great. How are we doing over here? We are close to finishing that one. And how are we doing on these two? So we have no reserve because we're using it. And here, how much reserve? We have 14 only. This is really not fast. And I cannot improve that one, but honestly, this is a bit too slow in my opinion. Like I've only made 14 tanks and I need, what is it, 30? Yeah, I need 30 for just one unit. I'm not ready for that yet. It's gonna take some time. How are we doing on our boats? The boats we have actually made. Oh, so the boats actually are very fast. So we've already made 20. Okay. We've made 10 at least there. And here, I think, yeah, we've made also 10 there, I think. So let's go crazy. The only thing we should check is, you know, how are we doing on the steel? Yeah, okay, our steel production, our steel reserves are going down. So we probably want to increase that production, which was over here. We have coal, we have iron. So yeah, let's boost that production of steel. Not enough space there. Okay, let's put it over here with a quick road. Okay, so you're gonna do steel, yes. Can we improve you a bit? Yes. Okay, and these ones are improved, yes. This one is not improved. So let's do that. Okay, and so now that we have so many of these corvettes, we should be able here to make a few of these. I've already queued a few, but let's definitely queue more. So we have, I think we have one made, and the second that is gonna be made soon. So that's great. That's great. I think we should start to deploy, probably. I'm thinking again, Western Europe is probably where I'm gonna want to do something. So let's go and put it over here. Close to, you know, north of France and UK. It's gonna take one day to come. And my resource over here looking good. Looking good. Oh, close is negative. Okay. So let me check quickly. Oh yeah, we have a couple of things in negative, so we're gonna need to fix that. Bread, for example, clothes, food rations. So yeah, there's a few that we need to continue obviously improving. You know, the more people you have, the more you need to improve all of those things. We have made enough field guns to have a second unit of field guns, so that's great over here. And we've also made 30 light tanks. So I have, you know, put a new one for training, an infantry tank. It's not going to be, you know, the perfect tank, but it's definitely going to be better than our infantry, in particular when attacking against anti-militia. So we definitely want to deploy this one as soon as possible. I have also started to do more of the corvettes. We have a few queued, we have 3 that have already been built, 2 that are deployed, and the 3rd that's going to be deployed now. And with all of this, we have unlocked a new level in the military, you know, technology tree. Look over here, we have arrived to level 4. By the way, level 5 is when we will start having some of those green level 2. So we have the rifles and the powder gun, right? So that's going to be an improvement there for sure. But yeah, we have unlocked now level 4. So with level 4, we have the airbase, the aircraft factory, right? As well as a couple of these actual, planes and things like this. So yeah, let's get started. I don't really... Yes, over here is a good place as any, especially given that we already have this fire station to protect for fires. So yeah, let's go. Aircraft factory. It's gonna require, I'm sure, electricity and things like this, but let's start with one, and let's put an air base also. Does that fit there? Yes. Not the most beautiful thing, but it should be fine. I see there is no tower for water. And speaking of which, we are now in negative on both water and electricity, and this requires technicians. I didn't see that. Okay, I'm guessing this one. Yeah, this one requires technician. Okay, we're gonna move to the third tier population. But before we do so, let's fix the basics. So we said we want a water tower, and we want a power station, and we actually want a bit of electricity because we don't have enough. Why is this not working? No, it is working now. Okay, so this is all connected. We are low on water, so we're gonna fix that in a second. But first, yeah, technicians. So I guess maybe we can expand on this side for them. Let's go up, and here same. So technician's house, we have unlocked both the normal houses as well as those high rises. They will cost quite advanced materials that we don't really have. Now, one of these high-rise, though, is gonna bring basically 80 technicians. We need 60 right now. That feels perfect. Let's just put that here for now, and we can do something more advanced in the future. But look at this, pretty cool building. All right, love this. There is a problem. What is the problem? Is that it needs electricity, but there is electricity there, so it should be fine. Should be fine. It requires also a lot of different needs. The basic ones we already know, but some new ones too, like fish soup, juices. And here we have telephones, the fine garments, and I'm sure that here they want many things. Yeah, they want a hospital, prison, university, TV stations, so many things we are gonna have to do there. And we're back into negative for electricity again. So maybe I will put one right in the middle of the city there for fun. Let's go. And then I need to find my water. So water is a bit of a problem because remember this is quite limited. I know there was two over here, but I think we've already upgraded those two. Look over there, this is already upgraded to the max, and this one too. Right? So we need to find another one. And again, I would love to be able to find those things a bit more easily. What is that? That looks like a water tower. Actually, I have a lot of laborers right now, so let's use them to salvage things while we're at it. It will also give me some resources like concrete and glass. But we're gonna have to start making these ones probably in the next episode. I feel like there should be water somewhere over here. No? Yes, here it is. Okay, so let's improve it to the max. Okay, and done. So with this, we're back into positive barely. Now, as soon as we start having a few more technicians, though, we may be back into negative because they need to drink water. Okay. Oh, what is that? Building is not... Oh, it's full. That's fine. That's a good problem to have, especially now that we're back into positive. Love it, probably with those taxes. So looking here, obviously the airport base here is where we're gonna create, new troops, but it's gonna require actual, planes. So first we need to build those planes. So if we look over here, we can see that we have the recon biplane, right? And we have also the blimp. So I don't know, we're gonna make a few of them. How many do we need? Oh, he keeps annexing so many, this guy that is very close to us. So how many do we need? We need 4 to make, an army. So it's not that much. I like it, but I think we're gonna definitely try to make some. So 4, maybe let's make 8, so we can do 2 of them. Okay, it's gonna take a minute. And by the way, look at those animations. Very cool, very cool. Okay. Okay, so the technicians are happy-ish. With this, we have started to make some planes, or to be more precise, some blimp. We are using then those blimp over here into the Air Force to create some actual blimp units. I've put 2. So that's gonna take a minute. We have also continued, to make more and more corvettes. We're close for the 4th one now. And here we have, I think, our first tank. Yeah, the first tank is here and it's being deployed, yes. And then I've started to recreate another field gun and another tank. But yeah, I think with this, we should attack. This guy continue to expand. Look at this, it's taken those 2 here. He's really everywhere. But the cool thing is now with my 3 corvettes, let's try to attack here, right? So we're gonna get closer, because right now we're too far, right? And by the way, this is the unit, yes. So we have these guys, they need to now finish their cooldown, right? So let's accelerate the time to make sure we are good. And then we're gonna attack. Right? So we're gonna have quite a bit of health, and I don't think they can do any damage to us, right? Because this is not anti-ship, this is anti-militia. I think their attack power here, you can see 0. So it may take some time, but I think we should be able to destroy them without too much damage. There it is, I think they are attacking but doing nothing to me. And I didn't do any damage to them either. I do think we did some damage, they had more than this, and you can see the bar here is not at the end. But it's not a lot. I mean, I guess, we're doing 20 of damage, so it would take 10 turns to really destroy them. What we can do, though, is also use our second army there in a second. And of course, if we had more ships, we could do more damage. But yeah, so this is a defeat just again because we haven't conquered it. But if I look over here, now it still says 3-1, but if I do this, we can see, yeah, it is now below 200. Now, if we attack, right, we can also do quite a bit of damage. Because we have 48 of attack with this army here. They will do some damage to us though, but I think we should do it because we don't have all day. So let's go. Here it is. This is the attack. So they're doing a lot of damage, in particular to my militias, but hopefully not too much damage to these guys, because to reinforce these guys will cost me quite a bit. But yeah, now I guess we have to wait for the cooldown for both of these. We may want to reinforce, especially. Oh, we don't have enough field guns to reinforce. We have a bit enough tanks, so let's reinforce this. And I guess we reinforce these guys too, just because we have a lot of recruits and guns, so that's not the problem. Now we have 4 corvette units, so let's attack again, and so our attack is even higher, and you can see that defense slowly but surely decreasing. I feel like maybe this attack plus an attack from this one, and we'll be very close to it. Very close to it to take over France. There's still 2 and 1, but yeah, I think if now we check this one out, oof, they will still do 11 of damage, but we're gonna do 50, so yeah, let's do this. Yeah, I know it's going to create some losses, but we can't wait too long either, because all the other enemies are getting stronger. I don't have a lot of places to expand. So it is, we're gonna wait for both of these to cool down and then attack again. In the meantime, we can check out our city, continuing to expand, obviously different productions, but over here we have started to make both those blimp, and I've put a couple of recon plane. We have built over here 2 of these. Unfortunately, we cannot deploy them because we don't have any air bases. So if we look over here, we've already used all 3 slots, and we're not yet at 100% of stability, so I'm not gonna change that. On this one here, there's only 1 slot. This one slot too. This one does has 2 slots, so we could build potentially an air base, but it costs 100 of concrete, and we haven't started to actually make concrete, right? We only have 35 of it. I did put a couple in the market. Look at my market over here. I said let's buy some concrete, so hopefully from time to time I'm gonna get some. Plus we can get some by salvaging things, but yeah, we can't get the planes yet, which is a shame because they could have probably helped us to finish this attack there, but it's okay, we're just gonna do it. It is 1 more attack. Now there is only 1 garrison like this, and these guys here, if we attack, we're not gonna finish them, but they also will do very little damage to us. So I think let's just do it. I'm gonna lose some militia, but that's fine, as long as I don't lose my tanks. That's the important thing here. Okay. We're gaining experience too every time, so that's what's important. I can see indeed that most of my militia are very low, and we still cannot reinforce those field guns because we're using all of my field guns. I may want to reinforce these guys though, because they're very low now on health. And yeah, the next attack should be the right one. Go at it. Let's double check how we're doing over here. And production of field guns, right? It's very slow. It's very slow. Is there any way to increase that one? No, we still can't increase that one yet. hopefully soon. And then here we're making some tanks, right? Actually, we probably have quite a few tanks. You have 16. That's not enough for the next one. But the next field gun is also almost ready. So that is good. I just realized we still have 2 water deposits over here. They're super far away. And remember, let's only use one at a time because of these reserves here, right? But at least we have one. And the reason why it was quite important for me to find water is because we're low on meat. And meat actually takes a lot of water. So let's do that one here. Okay. And as I said, we can expand now the meat. It is this building here, which takes 20 of water. Now this one is fairly upgraded. We could, I guess, upgrade it a bit further, reducing the cost, because it's only 40 laborers. I mean, I do have a lot of laborers, and it costs a bit. So I decided to do the cost on this one. I guess sometimes cost, sometimes people. It's I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, which one you prefer. I guess you could also do, at least one people, so 15%, and then one like this. That is better than nothing, right? But anyway, we get 14 more meats. I think this will be enough. Let's check this out. So we are positive everywhere there. Meat, we are +2, yes. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. I see an enemy over here. It is only 2 corvettes, but this is one of my enemies, right? So we definitely need to be careful. But more importantly, I think it's time to get Western Europe. Let's attack. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you don't do anything to me. That's fine. I'm not worried. We did a nice attack. And this should be the final one before these guys take over. I saw the enemies there. They are ready to take over my city. I'm not gonna let them. But yeah, this one has been destroyed. And we just need to destroy the other one now. Okay. Oh, you better not take over my city just when I'm ready. And if I use these guys, yeah, this one should be able to do the trick. So let's use them, because I'm also worried that they're gonna take over the AP9 if I move this army. But this militia army can take over, and victory, ladies and gents. We are in Western Europe. The troops have marched into the region capital, which should be Paris. And now we can check that we have indeed access to this new one, providing, in the future a couple of those things. But we probably first need to build as soon as possible a propaganda bureau, maybe actually even 2 propaganda bureaus, to try to get quickly to high stability, and then we can destroy it, I guess. Let's march directly into Iberia and get a second victory over here. Conquer a lot of Europe, and done. 8 militia against 2, so yeah, that was pretty easy. And it is, let's march into it. We can check, okay, this one has all at a great stability, which is good, but it is also because the army is here right now. I think what we want to do for sure is we're gonna put some defenses. It's gonna cost me some money, but I think it's the right one. And this is, I always forget, so this one is militia, this one is long range for the fleet, versus this one is anti-air. I feel like there is a lot of ships that could be over here. So let's go with the long range. Alright, and make max. Let's try to defend, right, those areas well. So this is anti-militia. That is good. And then again, I think let's get with the long range. Good. Here I'm trying to go around. See this fleet there to kill it. Try to kill it. But yeah, ladies and gents, oh, enemies could be near. There is enemies there, I know. I mean, they're not enemies. They're neutral to us right now, which is a good thing, because honestly, they can probably destroy me pretty easily. But I'm putting defenses, so right now they could attack me pretty easily. In the future, maybe not so much. I wonder if we should try to attack over here. But I guess we need to first put our troops into a boat if we want to go around. I will bring the troops a bit closer back there. I don't think we need them in Iberia. Worst case, I lose Iberia. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, ladies and gents, we have conquered some new territories, and these ones were defended. It wasn't territories with no defense whatsoever. So it was definitely harder. We have also started the third tier population, the technicians. Even if we want to be, you know, very pedantic, we haven't really given them anything like fish soup, juices, those telephones, etc. So I think we're gonna need to focus on this a bit into the future. But the really cool thing too is we should hopefully be pretty close to level 5 of military. Yeah, we're getting there. Everything else is moving, you know, nicely up. But the military, we really started way too late. So that one at level 5, this will unlock, you know, the rifles, the new types of units. So I'm excited with this, but as I said, I think what we're gonna do is try to kind of reinforce all of our defenses there, try to build as soon as possible also over here air base, right, so that we can have some of these troops. We may want to take, oh no, the Mali Empire took over Scandinavia. I was thinking to go to Scandinavia next, but they took it over. That's annoying, because now I'm a bit boxed in, except if we go to the north there, potentially. You know, there may not be tons of enemies. We will arrive at some point over here, but yeah, who knows, you know? I may also want to try to really become friend with this emperor. Right now we're at 50%. So I don't know, maybe sending him, you know, some other things that we have a lot, like ammunitions. I'm gonna give you some ammunitions. Maybe it's a very bad thing, but maybe it will help. Similarly for trade, you know, what could we give them that we have a lot of fish? We have a lot of fish. Let's give them fish for a long time. Hopefully they like that. Oh, they need to give us something. Well, you give us gramophone. Why is that not working? Oh, sign the deal, sorry. Let's see if they may not like that, sorry. We'll see. And science deal. What science deal can we do? I mean, I would love, for example, to get some military one that we just discussed. Where is it? Is it here? Let's get 2 military points, and in exchange, I'm going to give you some transport points. Let's see if he likes that. Again, not so much for the resources, to be honest. It's more to try to get him to really like me, so that you know, both I can potentially move my troops through his territory, but also, frankly, so that he doesn't kill me, because I think he could. And with this, we can focus maybe more on the other side, at the Cuban trade union or the people's movement. That could be a good idea. Anyway, thank you for watching, smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.